criminal scum doing?
Was there someone out there?
Yeah, someone just took their garbage can off the curb.
Was it Ray?
Nope,
Ray.
it was a criminal scum.
Oh. Hi, I'm Phil.
I'm Kevin.
Welcome to Pretty Good Cooking. You gotta play the theme song. It never ends up in the show anymore.
It did today.
I don't remember.
Pretty good.
Tonight on the show, I'm gonna teach you how to make a plant-based meal. But this time it's mostly plants and also meat. It was plant-based at one point, right?
Yeah.
That's a solid affirmative from Kevin. I'm going to teach you how to make a vegetable lo mein. And not the vegetarian bullshit. This is the low carb bullshit. So this is a recipe we're going to use the Spiralizer, also known as the Zoodler. I think that Spiralizer is such a cool name. I don't know why you would need yet another bizarre name like a Zoodler, but all pleasant words. All right, I have not done regular lo mein on the show. We did Dan noodles, which are kind of the same. But maybe we'll do regular lo mein sometime. Just to make sure that you really get the fact that this is a plant-based meal, this is gonna be the house combination! Which is, I think, what the Chinese restaurants call it when there's beef, chicken, and shrimp in your dish. Or triple delight, or happy family? Happy family is, I think, 4. I'm not really sure. I think that we have hit our quota for pre-show rambling, so let's get started. I'm drinking an Oscar Blues IPA. I got it in a variety pack. Before the show, I drank a cider, proving me to be the most pre-gamed of all the pre-gentlemen in our pre-show.
Yep.
If anyone's wondering, sometimes on the show, I have to just ramble for a while to get into the mode of being able to say funny things. And most of the time, most of the rambling doesn't end up in the final show, but it's almost like it's like a mental state that I have to get to of saying dumb shit. John suffers through all of that dumb stuff for that less than 10% of things that are sometimes funny. All right, so we're gonna have multiple things going on at multiple times. Actually, only the one time, unless we can split the space-time continuum.
I was just gonna say that.
Yeah. Kevin's one cool dude texting the babes. So, I'm gonna chop some meat. Kevin's gonna chop some vegetables. But at some point, we'll reconvene and we'll say whoa, look, this is all the things you need. Well, you know what? There's the burps. You know those are gonna make it into the edit. None of my okay stories that are sometimes funny, but the burps will make it. Kevin's gonna be a vegetable chopperman. He's gonna julienne this pepper. That means thinly sliced.
Red.
What's your favorite color of red?
Blood red.
He's also gonna julienne this onion. You can find all of the words in the letter onion by spelling out shit.
This onion is white.
And we're gonna thinly slice the mushroom as well. Those are baby bella. I thought that they were cremini, which I think that's the same.
You take the knife and you cut the vegetable.
Over here I'm working the meats. Just like, typical weekend evening. But this is a weeknight. Don't always work the meats on the weeknight. Here I have some top sirloin, and we are going to very thinly slice the top sirloin as much as we can. Top sirloin is a cut of beef, and beef is actually another word from meat that comes from a cow. This is approximately 1 pound of meat from a cow, which, if you're unfamiliar with pounds, they are a currency, a unit of measure, and they are also something that Kevin likes to do when you need him to make breadcrumbs. That is it. Here I have the breast of a dragon. This is approximately 3/4 of 1 pound. I'm going to try to slice it also thinly, and this is a real winner of an episode, I say, because I think we're going to expose you to new cooking techniques. And teach you about new words and terminologies, or maybe just give you empty promises.
This is an onion. It's white. Peeled it, chopped it a little bit. Cutting the onion.
There's the chicken. Next up, we're gonna get the marinade going. This is some cornstarch. We're just gonna do that. Yeah. Oh no. Next, we're gonna pepper it. And I'm adding dry ingredients to each of these, and then I'm gonna mix them up with my hand. My hand's gonna get all. And then I'm gonna have to wash it. I hate washing my hands. It sucks. In a marinade, you need a salty, a sugary, a cornstarchy, and you need the vinegar. Oh, the sugar, that's why I didn't put it in there. The sugary. This is the work of my wife. All right, here's some sugar. Yeah. Here's some more sugar. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, now to just get your hand all. I'm gonna start with the beef so we can make sure to transfer all the beef germs to the chicken, because that's how you cook. I place my hand on the meat and then I squeeze and move it around. That's how you do it. I'm having a hard time getting an even coating, so I'll probably just give up. Okay, all right. Hands. Make sure to wash your hands over the shrimp so they can get extra clean. All right. I think I'm out of normal soy sauce, so I'm using supreme soy sauce. Yeah, boy. Just give it some of that. Some of that good shit. And then we're gonna hit it with the rice vi, right? Einsvei Reisei Polizei. One of those. Yeah, mix it up some more. This time start with the chicken first so you can pull out the beef germs that you introduced. Ooh.
Do it like that.
Alright, that shit's ready. Alright. So, we're gonna make a variety of vegetable-based noodles, also known as plant-based food. The most typical one will be the zucchini. Now, zucchini is grown in my garden, and this is one that we picked that there was like some weird, like probably my dogs jumped on it. So give that a nice wash. Another thing we will use is a yellow squash that Mike grew. And this squash has gotten so squashy that it's actually got, you know, the inner squash core that we'll have to scoop out. Kind of a pain in the ass. We're gonna use some Daikon, and when we take the peel off, it'll be ready to spiralize. Just threw my can in the trash can instead of the recycling. The planet! Okay, we're gonna use our standard spaghetti noodle plate. Looks like that. And I think it is a good idea to put the fat end on first. So make sure to mount the fat end of the cylinder into the device, and you can begin your spiralize. Once you start up slowly, you can increase speed. Those noodles go in the bowl. And next up, we'll do the squash. Squash will be, well, the last time that I did this, which was 2 days ago actually, I started the squash and I was just like, wow, this is just a pain in the ass. So here's that squash. I washed the squash. I'm gonna start zoodling it, and then when I hit that weird squash shit, I'm gonna try to core it out. So here we go. So again, there's the weird squashy interior. Squash is not cooperating, but it's also one of those things like, there's only a limited number of things you can do with this kind of squash. So we'll get a long thin knife for superior squash penetration. Core that out a little bit. Josh's spoon.
First you start one side, and then you dip the other side, and you pull the legs off, and then tail, and then you shove it up your butt.
Wow. Alright folks, gonna teach you how to make a new cocktail. Get your cocktail shaker. And this is it's gonna be a variation on the G and the T and the P, which from that one episode recently where I was talking about the G and the T, the gin and the tonic, and the P is me, and so you put the G and the T into me, and it becomes the G and the T in the P. But this is a variation, so we're gonna use vodka instead of gin. We're gonna use soda instead of tonic, and it's gonna end up in me eventually, but it's going somewhere else first. So you wanna chill your vodka, not too much. Get that in the cocktail shaker. And you really put it in the shaker, it just allows you to add some legitimacy to your cocktail. Really, I don't think this is doing anything at all. Because you know, if ice was in the drink, it would get cold. All right, pop open that cocktail shaker, add some soda. This is Kroger seltzer water. The lemon lime flavor. Yum yum. And then give it a little swirl, but don't shake it, because if you shake it, you're gonna regret it. And to serve, pour it into a hollowed out piece of squash, and enjoy. It tastes like vodka. The seeds are coming out. just put any squash that gets in your mouth on the ground. I tell you what, when I was drinking that, my nose was in the squash, it smelled terrible. Now give that a rinse. You want to drink from the squash?
No.
Now that you've rinsed it, put it in the meal that you're serving your friends.
Oh, I don't feel so good now.
Oh yeah, I had this problem last time. Because I've hollowed it out, there's nothing for this piece of the spiralizer to hold on to. So since I cannot mount the squash, you just gotta jam it in there and apply lots of pressure. Yeah, that was a noodle-like. Alright, making good progress. We're on track to be done by midnight. How long have you been cutting those onions?
Just started.
Feels like years.
But I literally just started. Technique to chop onions is, as I have said before, you just kind of chop them like that.
He's done this before!
These ones are green. I like them. They're good.
Alright, I think I'm only gonna use one daikon. I'm gonna peel it. Alright, this is probably one of my favorite vegetables to turn into noodles. I think they have a pretty nice texture when they're cooked down. They hold up a little bit better than zucchini does. And they're not similar to rice noodles, but they're close enough that it kind of makes me think about them. Okay, so this is a large amount of zoodles. I think this is plenty. I think we were expecting more people, so I should not make any more than this. But you can mix them up a little bit. I think that we are almost to the point where I can start cooking. Wouldn't that be nice? I'm gonna make a sauce in this jar. Here's my top secret Asian sauce. It starts with soy sauce. This is supreme soy sauce. That's what I have. I'm gonna also add some mushroom flavored dark soy sauce for a depth of flavor. And my top secret method is to just put some of these in a jar and mix them up in whatever quantity you see fitting. This is oyster sauce. It's got that nice lady brand. I've been buying this for years, no clue what it's actually called. But I always buy the bottle with the nice lady. And you can see that she's cooking with her own sauce. And there's a picture, if you zoom in real close, she's on that bottle. The same picture. It's kind of like, maybe if we zoomed in one more time, she would also be on the bottle where she's cooking in that one. I don't know, it's good shit. Let's put it in. Oyster sauce is thick and goopy. You know, those are everyone's favorite words. Just gotta put it on in there. Seems like a fine amount. Next we'll add some rice vinegar. The rice 5. Not too much of that. A little bit of sesame oil. Not too much of that either. And we'll put some honey in. And we'll mix that on up, and we'll throw that on in there at some point. Okay, I got 2 cooking vessels here. Last time I did this in a pan. I also got the wok, which is kind of funky. But I think I'm gonna use both to accelerate the process. I got a background in process improvement, in case you didn't know. And it's actually it's all rooted in my culinary past. I've been using that line in business for like, it's probably been like 5 years now. I've like started as a cook. Learned how to like improve processes, because you know, cooking everything's a process, and that's how this show came to be. I'm certified, man. All right, let's get that heat going. This non-wok gonna take a while to heat up, and the wok not so much. Might explode though. All right, we got a bowl of vegetables. We're gonna put in some shredded carrots. These are also julienne carrots. Saved Kevin some trouble. Those white onions, not the green onions. We're gonna cook those veggies on their own. We're gonna cook the meats in the other pan, and then hopefully this turns out to be a meal. Get our sesame oil in each of these. Probably would be better to not use sesame oil. Probably be better to use like peanut oil or something, which I thought I had, but I did have it. Alright, so use a mixture of sesame and peanut oil. Not nearly as much as I have, but you know, I just didn't want the sesame to overload the flavor. So we will heat that oil up, kind of move it around. That's how you cook. The wok's just about heated up. It's already smoking. We'll try throwing a carrot in there and see what happens. Yeah, that's not ready. Man, that's too much oil.
Just enough oil for me.
And we'll just throw in our veg. It's gonna take a while to cook because we've overloaded the pan, just like we always do.
My favorite.
And we will start with the beef. So basically what we're going to be doing is cooking things in batches. I don't know if I have like a container big enough to put all these in. Maybe I do. So we will cook these until they're done. I think this is going to be too much food for us. Probably where we're at. But you know, since it's low carb or whatever, you can eat like 5 times as much. I'm going to cook these things and then, you know, we'll have updates and the show will go on. Alright, our beef is cooked. We're gonna pop that beef in the bowl and move on to our next meat. You can see that there's some fond building on the pan. It's okay. Next up, we'll cook the chicken, which is cooking slowly. Make sure you're fancy and put the vegetables in the wok. These are kind of like steaming instead of stir frying. There's so many things in there. But you can see they're cooking by the reduction in volume, which is good. More updates soon. Over to you, Kevin.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna deglaze with vinegar. No pyrotechnics today. Wow. Using some vinegar to try to get some of that fond off, because it's starting to cake over. This pan's notorious for doing this shit. Alright, there's our chicken. Doesn't even want to come out of the pan. That's fun. Alright, we're gonna throw our scrimps in there. 3/4 pound, half pound, something like that. Alright, these vegetables are looking pretty good. They look pretty cooked, but not overly cooked. Let's go ahead and get those out. And you can just keep using that same bowl. So all this is gonna go back in anyways. The shrimps don't really need to be on high heat. Medium's fine. This pan's totally Okay, alright, next up we will get the wok heated up. Use some of that oil that we poured out earlier. And when this gets going, we're going to pop in some garlic and ginger. Pre-minced, you can use not pre-minced if you want. I do not have time for that. Teaspoon of ginger, tablespoon of garlic. And move it around. And start adding zoodles. Now you don't have to cook these very long at all. And if you overcook them, they'll start releasing water like crazy. So be careful. Move your shrimpies around. That pan is so R.I.P. pan! After giving this an initial heating up, so to speak, you're gonna really want to move the noodles around. And you can start adding your sauce. I just pour it over, like so. And as you cook, these will start to absorb the sauce, and they'll get much closer to looking like lo mein. And you'll be like, oh man, I'm almost eating real food. But you can already see the volume is decreased rapidly. All those vegetables we cut already disappeared. Man, I'm sweaty. Shrimps are done. Now this is something really to be careful of, because you're going to end up with a lot of liquid really fast. You might actually have to pour out some of the liquid in the wok for this to come out right, but you got to balance that with trying to cook everything as well. The nice thing is that even if you just slightly cook the noodles, they'll continue to break down. So once they get to the point where they look kind of tender, I would go ahead and pour out some of the sauce. And actually, as you continue to cook them, even after you're done cooking them, it'll keep releasing liquid, which is just in the nature of vegetables, I guess. And that's vegetables, man, full of water. That's probably why they're good for you. Look how much those reduced. It was like a whole bowl. The whole bowl. I'm gonna pour off one more time here. Then I'm gonna mix everything and we can eat. It's okay to leave a little bit. Turn our heat down a little bit, and we will incorporate everything that we have made. Hooray! Oh, I almost forgot the bean sprouts. The nice thing with bean sprouts, you don't really gotta cook them. You're actually gonna just toss them in here at the end, and they'll cook down just fine. And also add some of those green bits. I would go for the heartier stuff when mixing, and the rest we'll use as a garnish. And at this point, just mixing it up, which when you're making a large amount of food, that's kind of hard to do. I don't know how many times, well, I've poured off liquid twice thus far, and every time I do, you can see more and more liquid is released. We're gonna go ahead and turn the heat off. All right.
I'm hungry.
We'll do a garnish on the pan so that we can take a picture that way. Well, let's serve this up. Check out that liquid, like I was saying, filling up. That's okay. Like, it's kind of a wet dish anyways. Just have to, remove some. A little green onion topping. Let's give it a try. Very good. It's got that distinctive lo mein taste. Chinese. No, I think everything's good. I don't know what else to say other than like, it's close enough to lo mein to be very enjoyable. So here's some other thoughts on the dish.
Tasty. Tastes like lo mein. The shrimp that I laboriously peeled is particularly good.
No, I like it. That's how you do it, in case I didn't say that already.